Hey there guys, it's Roy from Apotheca Marketing. If you've been working with GA4, you probably noticed that there's still a bunch of functionality and features that are missing or didn't make the migration from Google Universal Analytics. And they're all annoying, but one of the most annoying is probably the lack of annotations. And if you're not familiar with that, in Google Universal, or Google 3, as some people call it, you could leave annotations for events that might impact your measurement and marketing programs. So within the actual interface, you could click on the Annotations tab and leave something for a specific date, like the site was down, or tagging was screwed up for this date, or we launched this campaign, or there was some sort of event or activity that affected your marketing programs or the data coming through to your site. And that was super helpful, especially when you go to look back, like from last quarter, what caused that spike in traffic or what caused that drop in traffic, and you don't remember. And it was an easy way to just hover over it and see what was causing the difference in your data, or what was the anomaly that did that. GA4 does have some anomaly detection, but it's not always going to tell you what caused it. It'll say an unexpected drop in traffic or something like that. So there are workarounds. There are some third-party tools and Chrome plugins that you can use to add annotations to your GA4 reporting. However, if you're like us, we're always a little wary of third-party apps that are accessing our data. And so unless it's coming from a super reliable source or a very well-known company, I'm always a little wary about, especially with our client data, giving them access to our Google Analytics and allowing them to track the annotations and stuff like that. So one of the workarounds that we've developed is to do it in Looker Studio. And this is pretty straightforward. This is not rocket science by any means. But if you take a look at a typical Looker Studio report, there's not a lot telling you about what is going to be causing certain spikes and drops and that kind of stuff. So you can leave manual notes in here and that kind of thing, but it's probably a lot easier to use something that your entire team can access, that's going to record these different event changes and that kind of stuff, and that you can filter on. And so one of the things that you can do is set up a Google Sheet. And this can be, again, pretty straightforward. A Google Sheet that you have the dates, and you can set this up however you want. Notes about what caused, what it was that event. And then you can even put, for instance, what channel and that kind of stuff, or what program you have. Again, this is all up to you. You could even add who added the note, and that kind of thing. And so as you're putting in these dates and adding them, you can then, because you now have dates, you can filter that in your Looker Studio report so that you can see like for a given month or something like that. So I just threw some example tags in here, example note sheet you can see. So we're going to go to this dashboard and add a chart, add some data rather. So we're going to look for Google Sheets. We're going to authorize it. And this one's called Example Notes Sheet. Use the first row as headers, that's fine. Click Add. All right, so now we have that as a data source. Now we can add a chart. In this case, we're going to add a table. That is pulling in that spreadsheet right now. And it is showing the Notes tab. So we have a tab over here that's Notes. Okay. And we don't need record count. We probably want date. I'll move that up. And just from a stylized point, we probably don't need the row numbers. And there you go. So now we have notes in here about what's happening on the site for a given time period. Now you could theoretically filter this And so we can create a filter, and we could select includes, and then the channel. And so if we wanted to make this specific to just one marketing channel, we could use our taxonomy in the sheet and say, we just want to look at the general ones for this one. So I'm going to go back to that filter, and I'm just going to general. And just name it there, and then click save. And now we only have those for that specific report. So if this was a paid search dashboard, we could filter that by paid search. We could filter it by SEO for an SEO dashboard, etc. And so this isn't as handy because it's not showing you like the actual like pinpoint on that you can hover over in the chart. But this is going to give you a reference, so you can very quickly see like, hey, we had a huge spike here. Is it related to one of these events that happened in the sheet? Now, there is a way you could do a blend on these, to where you had a chart that, for instance, was showing traffic or something like that, and then you could have these be another part of the chart, so you could blend those two charts together. So on that specific day, you would see like a bar or something going up. That's a little clunky. You know, it is a visual notification that there's an event happening, but you know, it doesn't look great. But you can absolutely do that if you wanted to do that. But again, this will give you that flexibility to very quickly and easily add notes that are going on for a given month. And because this report is filtered by a date, you can see that if I switch it to this month, there's no notes in there yet because we don't have any notes from this month. But if I go in and I add one, just say test note, and because I have that as general, I'll add that, and so that will add that to the report if you refresh it. So so that is a quick and easy way to add annotations to your data. I hope this was helpful. We're going to be looking at potentially some of the third-party apps in the future. Again, they make me a little wary. I don't know about you, but when it comes to our data, it's not something I like to just kind of have plugins sharing. So hope this was helpful. Let me know how you're doing annotations and if there's stuff that your team's doing. I know a lot of our teams are doing spreadsheets already. So, you know, just to share among team members so that they're keeping track of stuff that's going on. Like, hey, when did we launch this campaign? So this is an easy way to just integrate that into your Looker reports and share that with executives and other team members. So let me know how you're using them. Let me know if there's tools that you're using that you like. And of course, if you have any questions, please let us know. As always, if you need help with Looker Studio, with GA4 implementations, or with your marketing programs, give us a holler. Our link is in the description below. We'd be happy to do a 30-minute consultation with you for free. So just let me know, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.